Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. We are really excited to talk to you today about ways to eliminate custom development for your enterprise and specifically industrial IoT projects with Blynk and NCD. For those of you guys who don't know me, I'm Irina Leshuk. I'm the president of Blynk. I'll be hosting the webinar today. Great. So today's speakers, as you probably know, are Pablo Byborodin, the CEO and founder of Blynk, and Travis Elliott, the COO of National Control Devices. Hey guys, great to see you. We will very briefly cover, I think it's a bit of an obvious topic, but we will very briefly cover why is it even a big deal avoiding custom development for your IoT projects. We will introduce you guys to the NCD hardware ecosystem. We know that quite a bit of Blynk audience is new to this hardware. For those of you who are new to Blynk, we will talk about our platform and what it can do for you. And the most exciting part will follow. We will show you in action how the hardware and software work together in tandem, followed by a Q&A session, as already mentioned. All right, so I don't think anyone here will disagree that IoT is quite complex. This is proven by a lot of data out there that probably only about 12 to 20%, depending who you ask, of IoT projects are actually fully successful from technical perspective, from business perspective, ROI, etc. And there is a variety of different reasons why that happens, and some of them are listed here. Some of the projects are just not built for scale. You may have developed something that's great at the POC stage, seems to check the boxes, not built for large deployments, and you quickly realize that. Also, if you've built an IoT project before, you probably know that it requires quite a bit of different areas of expertise. So you have to understand the hardware, you have to understand the electronics, connectivity, the cloud side of things, front end, back end, user experience, design. There's just a lot that goes into it. And if you're really trying to assemble a team in-house to cover all of these areas really well, that starts adding up into quite significant costs for most companies and quite a bit of complexity. Security and compliance are a whole big area on their own, something you have to follow really closely, you have to invest in as a separate area. And for that reason, basically, platforms like Blynk exist, and platforms like NCD hardware platform exists. And today we have decided to put together the two to make sure these challenging areas have been addressed, and that you can actually start out from day one. You don't have to invest into all of this. You don't have to think about these areas. You can just get your software, get your hardware, deploy it, start learning, and start making your business better. This is basically kind of the whole point of the solution we're going to be talking about. When evaluating kind of what we showed today, just think about the 4 key parameters and 4 key concepts that are really critical for any successful industrial IoT projects, knowing that both on the hardware side and on the software side, a solution like the integrated solution we're presenting today has basically addressed them for you. The time to market, the stability, both on the software and hardware side, things will just work. Scalability, you can start small, deploy as big as you need. And obviously security is a paramount focus for both NCD and Blynk. Without much further ado, I will give it over to Travis to talk about NCD in a little more detail.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction. First of all, thank you all for coming. We're very happy to speak with all of you today. I can speak on NCD's behalf that we're very excited to get a deeper integration with Blynk as a partner. But my name is Travis Elliott. I'm the COO of National Control Devices. I've been here a little over 20 years now, and NCD has been around quite a while as well. So we've got a lot of experience on the hardware side, and I'm looking forward to discussing that with you today. Just hit the next slide there. Okay, so we were founded in 1995. We started off designing and manufacturing relay control products, basically computer-controlled switching. But over the last few years, we've found a really nice market and sensory monitoring and industrial IoT. So that's where our focus has been since about 2017. The product line is very mature at this point and it's been deployed throughout the world in large quantities. So we feel really good about the reliability of our products. Yep, so let's hit the next slide. So we want to revolutionize industrial automation through cutting edge technology and reliable solution. So one thing that's extremely important whenever it comes to hardware and industrial IoT is you absolutely cannot afford to have to go back to the site to touch the installation again. So you really have to have very reliable hardware to have a successful industrial IoT deployment. And that is one thing that even companies like ourselves who specialize in electronics design and manufacturing, it's taken a long time for us to get to this point. Some people might think, well, I'll just stick a sensor on a Raspberry Pi and we'll just stick thousands of those out in the field. And you'll find out pretty quickly that there's a lot of challenges that arise from maintaining that hardware out in the field. And if you have to send service techs out there, you just lost all your profitability very quickly. So that's our goal, is to make reliable cutting edge technology from a hardware perspective. So I touched on this a little bit already. Our key products, like I said, we started off with relay controllers. We still have a very vast array of relay control products if you're interested in that. But IoT wireless sensors is definitely our main focus at this point. Remote control systems, that's monitoring sensory inputs and then controlling outputs accordingly. And then custom automation, that's really kind of the other side of remote control is, having this stuff take over by itself, kind of like your thermostat kicking on your unit, whenever the temperature gets too high or too low. So we make a lot of hardware for all of those aspects. So today we're going to be focusing mainly on the enterprise line of wireless IoT sensors. That is the line of products that we're integrating with Blynk, and they're making some very, very nice dashboards for monitoring those devices. It's a very vast ecosystem of products. I believe the enterprise line consists of over 100 different types of sensors at this point. And that is one thing that kind of sets us apart from a lot of the hardware manufacturers in this space, is that we didn't set out to make one device like a vibration sensor. We set out to make an ecosystem of wireless sensors. So as your needs grow in your installation, we're going to have something off the shelf that's going to work for most of your monitoring needs. These devices are all IP rated. Some of them also offer Class 1 Div 2 certification, which is something you won't find just anywhere. So we're very proud of that. Pretty much all of them are battery operated. That means you don't have the high overhead of, running power to monitoring locations where maybe power is not available. That can add up and cost very quickly. So battery power is a must. And all of the devices operate on long-range wireless technology, 900 megahertz here in the Americas, 868 for the European market. And then we also have 2.4 gigahertz for regions where neither of those is viable. And it is a mesh topology for the wireless protocol, which means if the sensor can't directly reach the gateway, we can actually install repeaters throughout the site to hop the signal from the sensor back to the gateway. So it's a very it's DigiMesh is the wireless protocol. You can feel free to look into that further for more information, but it's a very reliable, very robust wireless topology. You could say it's similar to LoRa, but we feel that it has some benefits LoRa doesn't have, and that's why we went with it. And then lastly, all of our development resources from a software perspective are going into Node-RED. If you haven't heard of Node-RED, it's a very quick and easy to implement software program that runs on our enterprise gateway. And it's what brings the sensor data into the gateway, transforms it into real world telemetry, and then actually sends it out to cloud platforms such as Blynk. So it's we've really enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, so our enterprise line, we offer white labeling at no additional charge. So if you're creating an industrial IoT solution and it's important to you to offer the solution to your customers under your brand, we will actually print your logo in place of our logo on all the products at no additional charge. Customization or full custom design services are available. So if you don't see exactly what you need off the shelf on our site, we would be happy to discuss that with you and perhaps design a custom solution for your particular application. And that's actually where a lot of the devices in the enterprise line of wireless products have come from. Customers come to us, ask for a solution, we design it for them, and then we offer it to the rest of our customers. So it really has been, the whole enterprise line has been built based on feedback from customers. So these are devices that are viable in the real world because people needed them. And then, yeah, our sales and support, you would actually speak with either myself, I'm more on the software side of things, or Bahasker, who is more on the hardware side. But we've got a fantastic staff here between Bahasker, myself, Jacob Youngblood, and Eduardo would be working with you to answer any questions you have. And we're all very knowledgeable because we all work in the development of the products. So you're not talking to someone reading out the same manual as you. And then simple to implement dashboards, such as Blynk. The integration that we've developed with our partners, it's always very important to us that our products be easy to use with whatever platform we're partnered with. So if you see someone like Blynk listed as a partner with our products, it's because it is viable and quick to deploy. And lastly, everything is designed and manufactured right here in America, in Missouri. These are not Chinese manufactured products that we're just putting our name on. We actually design, engineer, and manufacture everything in-house. Yeah, and then we'll touch on the enterprise gateway because it is such a vital part of the entire ecosystem. The wireless sensors really would be almost worthless if they didn't have anything to connect to, right? So the enterprise gateway is something that we have built over the years, and we've finally gotten to the point with our gateway where we feel like it's an extremely reliable, rugged, but also pliable piece of hardware. It's going to allow you to do just about anything that you would want to do. It has the light version is very low cost at about $370. It has Ethernet and Wi-Fi connectivity for internet access, and then our regular enterprise gateway has Ethernet, Wi-Fi, and cellular connectivity. So if you have installations, where you don't have network availability, or say the IT department is a little hard to get along with, you can deploy a cellular gateway, and that means that you don't have any issues with the internet access. But the enterprise gateway is cloud agnostic, which means it will work with any platform, including Blynk. But it has some onboard storage, so if you need to, say, store some readings whenever internet connectivity is lost, you can buffer that telemetry until the internet access is restored to the platform, and then you can send all the data up there. So those are some things that make the enterprise gateway very powerful. You can also do some local dashboarding. for offline use. You know, if internet connectivity is lost, you know, you're not just dead in the water. That gateway is still going to continue to function, and it does run Node-RED on board. It comes pre-installed with Node-RED as well as our Node-RED library. So it's very easy to use out of the box. We've got a lot of resources for that. And yeah, our hardware is built for the real world of industry. I've spent hundreds, if not thousands of hours in industrial facilities, assisting our customers with installation, helping them get their IoT program up and running. So we've been there. Just about any industry you can think of, from you know, the pulp industry to industrial manufacturing. We've been out there. We've seen the challenges of hardware in these types of facilities, and we know how to deal with it. You know, things like high temperature washdown, where you got 500 psi water at 190 degrees spraying this hardware. We've seen it, and we've developed the solutions for that. So we know what we're doing whenever it comes to industrial environments. Yeah, and then our use cases, because the ecosystem of hardware is so large, you know, we've got everything from, you know, soil sensors to temperature sensors to vibration monitoring to current monitoring. It really lends itself to so many different use cases that we've seen it in just about every type of environment and industry you can think of, whether that's healthcare industry. You know, we've seen these things installed in retirement homes and hospitals. Of course, industrial manufacturing facilities, food and beverage, cement industry, um, you know, agriculture, of course, with the soil monitoring. We've been in vertical farming. Structural monitoring is another one. We've got a lot of sensors that lend themselves well to that. And then energy monitoring, of course, is a big one. If we can help customers, you know, save energy in these industrial environments, that comes back as a huge windfall, because if you know where you're consuming your energy, you can start to evaluate why you're consuming energy there, and then sometimes get more efficient with your energy usage, which in industrial environments will significantly reduce costs. And it makes, you know, paying for, you know, an industrial IoT program very viable. So with that, I think we're going to turn it back over to Pablo and Irina. And thank you so much today for attending. And I'm very happy to be able to speak with all of you.
Thank you, Travis. Please give, if you have questions for Travis, please make sure to submit them in the Q&A chat. We'll address them later. All right, Pablo, over to you.
Thanks, everyone. First of all, thanks everyone for coming. Travis, thanks for joining us as well. And the first thing I wanted to say that we are super excited to have this integration with NCD.io. We knew each other for quite a while, but Blynk was mostly focused on manufacturers of smart devices and connected devices. And now in the last year, we put a lot of effort into enabling more and more off-the-shelf products on Blynk. And I'm really happy to see this first integration with someone like NCD.io, because obviously they produce the high quality hardware and very configurable, which basically enabled this integration. And yeah, and that's why we are like talking about it today. But what we see a lot when we're talking to our customers is that they kind of can get the data from the devices, right? It's not a big deal these days, most of the time, especially if you work with a hardware like NCD.io, which is configurable and you can customize it. However, we believe that the most kind of difficult part starts when you need either to scale, or you need to share the data, or you need to basically to present this data in a meaningful way, or controls in a meaningful way to other colleagues, to other clients, and different, like scale it to a different job site, transfer it to a different job site. And this is where we see like a lot of companies are trying to build it by themselves, but then like 4 years later, they just discover, hey, we just need to use some platform. And Blynk was always focused on first of all, user experience. So our core mission is to make IoT available for everyone and also like simple for everyone, whether it's an end customer who is using the device or developer who is building the product. So I'm really happy to see more folks from coming from NCD kind of site, which I'm excited to tell you more about Blynk and how like we can run the sensors on Blynk today. So basically, Blynk is a low-code IoT platform, as I said, with the focus on user experience. And we provide a constructor that allow you to build mobile and web applications and connect them with the sensor data, and then show it to the all of the stakeholders in a very pleasant and easy to use way with a lot of flexibility. Currently, we are trusted by over 1 million of engineers worldwide who are building all sorts of products and projects on Blynk. We also work a lot with businesses. More than 5,000 companies are building their solutions on Blynk. And to give you a better understanding of the scale of our operations, we process about 180 billion hardware requests every month on our public servers. So we have public servers and enterprise solution for businesses. And it's up to you what to choose, and maybe we can talk about it later. Basically, Blynk offers 4 major products, one of them being the mobile app builder. And why I'm talking about the first, because this was where we started. We started with a very easy way to build mobile applications for that works with hardware. And now we have a great drag and drop, no code application builder, which is highly customizable, highly flexible, where you can drag and drop different bits of pieces of interface and create the UI, which works specifically for your use case. And then you can share this with other people, and they can also access the data and control your devices remotely. The second product we offer is the web console, which is more of like a desktop version of Blynk, where you can manage devices, manage users, manage organizations, manage clients, manage permissions of access, and you also can visualize the data there as well. But it's more of a management tool, we believe. However, it's up to you how to use it. You can invite other people, you can work there by yourself, and yeah, there's like a lot of flexibility on this product. As I said, we initially started working mostly with microcontrollers, and then we extended our solution to work with off-the-shelf devices and more standard protocols. And today, you're extremely flexible on how to connect the device to Blynk. And we support pretty much any hardware, whether it's like an ESP32 microcontroller or ready-to-use hardware like NCD-IO with MQTT support. You can connect it. You can use HTTP. We work with the Wi-Fi. We work with LoRa. So pretty much every single protocol is covered, and you're very flexible in how you can send the data to Blynk. In addition to that, on the Wi-Fi solutions, we offer network management as well. So you can provision the devices using connecting them to the Wi-Fi network they use, and we provide a great user experience for that. And yeah, obviously we offer cloud out of the box, which is like an integral part of our platform. So this is where all of the data is stored. This is where we control permissions, that where add users, and like basically the center of the operations. It's extremely scalable, and as I said, we run almost 200 billion devices monthly on it. And it provides secure communication, which is obviously one of the most important things in IoT today. But as you see that these 4 products, they all revolve around user experience. And today with the demo, I hope that you will kind of appreciate how easy it is to connect a device with Blynk. So we try to build the best user experience possible, no matter what kind of user is using the platform, whether it's a developer who is just building and trying the new thing, they just need to quickly get the data and start working with it, or if it's a manufacturer who is deploying 50,000 devices in the first batch ready to be used by the end customer, or if it's an end customer who is trying to activate the device and start working with it. So we really focus on user experience in the Internet of Things. So for NCD hardware, we prepared a set of ready-to-use blueprints for the most popular sensors that we'll be connecting. And what is the blueprint? Blueprint basically is a pre-made configuration plus a guide for you on how to connect the first device and second and third. And you will see how easy it is to do. So I will be demoing in a minute. So basically, we provide with the ready-to-use flow for the Node-RED. You just copy paste it to the gateway setup, and then we provide you with the dashboard, with the mobile app, and everything you need to start working with the sensor. But the best part is that at any moment of time, you can switch to edit mode and completely redo what we built for you. So this is just a starting point that will help you to get your device online, get the data visualized, start getting alerts. We try to think about like what are the common use cases when using like a vibration sensor or air quality sensor. So our design team thought it through together with NCD. And yeah, we prepared this like ready to use projects for you. So there's basically nothing you need to do pretty much for the first installation before you like start to understand, oh, I need this in a different way, or I need to modify it. Basically, a firmware engineer can just start it, or even a user who is a bit familiar with like networks and IP addresses, then they can set up the gateway following the tutorial from NCD, and then using all the copy paste functionality that we offer and run the device. So this is our demo setup for today, and I will show you today how it works. Oh, sorry. Yeah, demo time.
Yay.
Okay, we need to switch to the video player. We decided to go with the video because it's a bit more reliable, but I will show you some live stuff as well today. So basically, when you are in the Blynk console, this is the web application. You start with the new template. Template is a set of configuration that can be applied to multiple devices. Let's say you have 100 vibration sensors that you need to install on the job site or on the manufacturing line. Then all of these devices, they will inherit the same configuration or different. It's up to you how to do it. But then basically, if you change any configuration in the template, these changes will be applied to all of the devices that inherit this template. But we went a little bit further. So first of all, we connect to the NCD gateway, which is on the local network, and we make sure that it's connected. And then we switch to the Blynk console and go to the blueprints section of the developers. And here you can see all sorts of predefined templates that we built for you. And among them, you will see the NCD IOs, and you can maybe search really quickly on the page and find them. Then you choose the template that you would like to use. In this example, this is the vibration sensor. And then you just press the use blueprint button. After that, we start configuring the template for you. So we are defining on the data channels, we are building the mobile dashboard, we are building the web dashboard for you. So all of that is pre-configured for you, ready to use. So for now, Blynk part is basically over. Like we are ready to connect the first device. So all we need to do is press on the activate new device, and there will be just 3 steps. So first, we will generate the unique identifier for the device, which is called authentication token, which we would need a bit later on the configuration of the Node-RED. So we will generate this. We'll use it later. And we go to the next step, which is the firmware. In this case, there is no actual firmware. We will be using the JSON that is used for the Node-RED. So right now we're connecting to the gateway, and we are loading the Node-RED interface. And it might look overwhelming for those who are using it for the first time. Node-RED basically is a no-code kind of node-based visual programming language. But we prepared everything for you, so you don't need to do anything. Basically, we are importing what we just copied from Blynk, and then the new flow is completely ready for you to use. So basically what it does, it gets the data from the sensor, the gateway gets the data from the sensor, and then sends it to all these data streams or channels that we configured in the Blynk template. The only thing that we need to do is to add the authentication of the device. So you can go to any node, and in the security section, edit, and the security section, the username is standard for everyone. It will be device in current implementation. And then you go back one side and check copy the authentication token, and then we'll place it as a password. So now we are actually ready to use the flow. So we consider that firmware is kind of uploaded, and then we are waiting for the device to show up online. So press the deploy button in the Node-RED configuration, and then you see the pretty animation showing you the device is connected. So now we can see the device is already online, and in just a couple of seconds, it will start populating the dashboard. I will skip this part, and now we see that the data is already flowing in. And as I said, the dashboard is already configured for you, so you don't need to spend time on building that. However, at any moment of time, you can click on the edit button here and start rearranging, put like charts here or use other widgets, whatever you need for your particular project, you can customize pretty much everything. And we have all sorts of data visualizations and controls. Let me show, for example, I think that the kind of the demo is pretty much over here, and I will just maybe switch to the actual setup. 1 second. Oh yeah, and the best part that I wanted to mention is that if you download the Blynk app and you log in with your account, then you will see all these devices in the Blynk app, and you can open any of them and see the data on the mobile screen, and you can get push notification alerts to the phone. So basically, if you're in the field, you can either adjust the parameters, or you can see the data in real time, and basically use the same functionality as on any kind of web interface usually. What I also wanted to add is right now we built 4 blueprints that are ready out of the box. So you can just go to Blynk, follow the same steps as I just described, and basically connect, first of all, the gateway, for example, and then start connecting the sensors. There are only 3 sensors right now. However, we plan to add more of them, and then you will be not limited to what's done. However, the process of connecting the sensor is pretty much the same. So you can utilize the flows that we designed for these sensors and adapt them to use with pretty much any sensor that works with a gateway. So it's I think it's you will just, by copy pasting and by observing how it's done, you will be able to build the dashboard really easy. So what else I wanted to do? And so when we talk with as I mentioned in the beginning, when we talk to the customers, we see a lot of effort put into this first stage, like, yeah, let's get devices working and connected. But then the question arises, okay, how do we share this data? How do we organize it into different job sites? How we work with different clients? So, and this is where Blynk really shines. So we're on the market for for a decade right now, and we've seen pretty much any use case you can imagine. So we've seen manufacturing use cases, we've seen B2C products, we've seen industrial use cases, and right now we are really happy that we can provide like out-of-the-box solution with the industrial side. But all the use cases that we've gone through for the 10 years, they're already there. If you need to transfer the device, if you need to add new device to the platform, all of that is already there basically. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So I can see different dashboards for the enterprise gateway. For example, we have a one dashboard. We have a different one for the vibration one. Let's check. Oh, there have been some vibration there. Okay. And as I said, you can do different settings. You can change the notification alerts. For the notifications, we also see the low battery alert. So all of that is there, and you can send it over SMS, over email, or over push notification to the app. So it's super flexible. Everything is pretty much no code. And yeah, here it is. Here's the demo.
Thank you, Pablo. Thank you for demonstrating the simplicity, kind of what goes into it. I've seen your demo before, and I know you can talk about this for hours if you go into a lot of details. So for anyone who wants to kind of go a little more in depth, ping us with questions, reach out to the team. There are many, many ways to get in touch. We'll talk about that. And for now, we're good with the demo, right? Can go to the questions.
Yeah, as I said, I can talk for hours about what we have on the platform, but I would rather focus on are there like any actual questions and maybe problems that people are, the challenges that people are facing with, and I'd be happy to answer them.
Awesome. So we did get some good questions here. I'll just voice them out one by one. The ones we have time to go through, the ones we don't, we'll follow up with you guys. Okay, so question number one, how can we manage data visibility on a global scale, ensuring that customers only see sensors relevant to them? Pablo, if you want to address that.
Sure, that's a great question. This is a very common scenario that everyone faces at a certain scale when you have separation of different teams or different departments or different job sites. So Blynk offers a multi-tenant solution. So basically here, for example, where's my mouse? It's here. So we can go to the organization section. There's nothing here today, but I can create a new organization. I can add users to this organization, and then they will only see the devices that belong to them or they can access. And another way of controlling who sees what would be the permissions, roles and permissions. So by default, we offer like 3 roles, default roles. However, if I expand all the things that you can do here, like almost every single action on Blynk platform is covered with a permission checkbox. So basically you can specify that some users see the devices that they own and they can see the organization devices, but they can't control them, for example. So it's so granular and so flexible that I'm pretty sure that anyone can configure that to their needs. As you see, I keep scrolling and it's just like a never-ending list of permissions. It's a result of working with enterprise clients where they need to very granularly control every single item on the platform, what for their users and all that.
Yeah, and I just want to say, you know, you have been doing this for a decade, and I'm sure that list of permissions wasn't that long to start with, but you know, as you work with customers, you get that feedback, and it just grows and it matures over time, and it winds up being very powerful.
Exactly. All of that is mostly built on the user's feedback and on their needs. Yeah, so basically, when we learn something new and we see that this can be implemented back to the platform so that everyone else can benefit from that. So we immediately put it on the roadmap, and this gets into the production kind of schedule, and we try to deliver that. And this is a great focus for us on the feedback from the community, from the customers. So we really try to kind of work on it and listen and incorporate it back to the platform so that everyone can benefit from it.
Great. Thank you, Pablo. The next, I'll kind of start grouping the questions so we're efficient with them. So the next couple of questions will be about hardware. So Travis, for you, what is the expected battery life of the NCD Enterprise series sensors? And how many sensors can be connected to one gateway?
Yeah, so the battery life is relevant to the user's configuration. The sensors can be configured to, you know, some of them can report every 10 seconds. But most users, the default configuration is it reports about every 10 minutes. You can change that as needed for your application. The longer you have that interval, the longer the battery's going to last. But all the product pages should say how many transmissions they're rated for. So we don't rate it based on time, we rate it based on number of transmissions. So if a sensor says it's rated for 500,000 transmissions, which is pretty common amongst the enterprise line. You can multiply that by your report interval and basically calculate your estimated battery life. I'm sorry, what was the second question?
Question, how many sensors can be connected to a gateway?
Yeah. So there's not really a limit to the number of sensors that can be connected to a gateway. It's really more of a question of bandwidth. But what I typically say is the light gateway is rated for about 50 sensors, and the standard enterprise gateway is rated for about 100. Now, I've seen installations where they've got 200 sensors connected to an enterprise gateway, and there's no issue. Once again, that is a bit relevant to the type of sensor. Vibration sensors, for instance, put out a lot of data. Temperature and humidity sensors don't. So, it depends on the type of sensor you're using, but kind of a good rule of thumb is about 50 for the light and 100 for the enterprise.
Okay, awesome. The next question we got, how do you provision devices? How can we streamline this process in large deployments? I think, Pablo, that would be a good one for you.
So that's a great question, and this is what we see a lot when customers are trying to build something by themselves, and then they realize that it's very difficult to scale up the line of their either models or the line of the sensors that they need, or they're just the number of devices. So I would say that first of all, it's very easy to do on the platform. Since it's open, I can just really quickly show you. So we have this developer zone, which is the templates that I just mentioned. So we have 3 templates, one for the gateway, and basically then I can go to any of the templates and just add a new device. So again, we get the new authentication token, and then we go through the same process. However, sometimes it's not enough. So we've designed another flow for that, which is called static tokens. So basically I can, let's say you tried one vibration sensor and it works and everything is great. And then you need to add 10 more of them to the production line because you would like to monitor all of the equipment there. So you just go here, generate multiple tokens, and you choose the template, for example, for the vibration sensor, and you say, I need 9 more tokens. So you got it, you got the tokens, and you can export it as a CSV file. And following the same process, you just add the nodes in the node RED and just copy paste the tokens and put them for every device. And then all of them appear in your platform. So appear in this list of devices once they get online and get claimed. And by the way, claiming is another interesting scenario. So basically, let's say there's a developer who is preparing the devices, and there's someone in the field who is installing the devices, right? Or maybe your client is installing by themselves. You just deploy them. You just send them these 10 devices, and they need to install it. So they would follow the same scenario. They would just go device by device. But we provide here in this list of static tokens, we also provide the QR code. So you can provide the customer with these QR codes, and someone who is installing the equipment, they will just, once the device is installed, they will open the app, which is works as well with this. They will just scan the QR code that provided, and then this device gets into specific organization, into the specific customer, and becomes online. We consider it's claimed and that it belongs to this particular customer. So this is a very common scenario for industrial application, and also for any device that can kind of immediately talk to the internet, which is specifically the case for the NCD devices. So yeah, you just print out these QR codes or send them as an email, and the customer just go one by one and claim them to there. Or another way would be to select all of them, to select all the devices and transfer them to the client. So there are just multiple ways of how you can do that, and we've seen it all. So.
Great. Is it possible to combine data from multiple devices in one dashboard? Probably another one for you.
Wow, that's a tricky question. So yeah, so the Blynk users will know that it's not currently available. However, since we're here on the webinar, I just wanted to give a sneak peek of that. Basically, we have this feature, and it's now available for enterprise customers, and we are working on delivering it to the public in the very nearest time, I would say. So basically, we have this new analytics dashboards section where you can combine data from different devices. So here we see the how many devices are online and charts for vibration sensor and for air quality sensor together with controls. So yeah, you will be able soon to do that. And again, it's also a constructor, so you can go edit and modify it to your needs, and then you can even translate it down the trees so that, for example, if you have same setup for each of your clients, pretty much the same with maybe some variations, they will be able to see the dashboard straight away because it will be kind of an application layer level, and they will be able to modify it to their needs, but they immediately get certain result. And the best part, we also added the small touch when you can make this a home screen. So this is the first screen that they will see. So they can go to the individual list of the devices, or they can go to the home screen, which is currently named main dashboard, and they can see the data from all the devices aggregated with controls that control all of the devices specified per widget. So yeah, it's a new powerful feature that we are planning to launch soon, and looks like you're the first ones to see it in public.
Thanks for the sneak peek. Awesome. So next question, I think it's more for Travis. So we have customers interested in NCD products, but due to lack of data sheets available, they tend to get tedious while looking for any technical info on the website. Can we expect in the near future to have them, the data sheets?
Yes, so that's a big initiative here inside National Control Devices, is to do a lot of revision to our documentation for the enterprise line of products. Emmanuel, I would urge you to go to our store and look at the uptime monitor sensor. If you pull up that sensor, go to its product page and scroll down to the resources section on that product page. That is one of the first sensors that we've implemented our new system for documentation. You can give us some feedback on that, but there is a data sheet. There's a quick start guide. We're going to be making videos, getting started videos for every single product in the enterprise line. But the line is pretty big. So, it's going to take a while for us to work through each product, but we'll kind of go down through the list of products, based on, the most popular stuff.
Oh. And Travis, another one for you. How easy it is to implement Node-RED via the gateway? Do we need VPN connection to access the gateway and then be able to change or update configuration of the sensor?
Yeah, so remote access to the gateway, anytime you get into remote access, you're talking about cloud services, which is not something that National Control Devices provides. We're not a service provider, we're just a hardware manufacturer. But you can use VPN to remotely access the gateway's web interface. Robustel VPN is available. If you search search resources on our website for VPN, you'll see I do have some guides on that and how that can be implemented. But as far as setup of Node-RED, there really is none. The gateway comes with Node-RED and our library pre-installed, and then Pablo showed in the demo how quick and easy it is to just import that flow to make it work with Blynk. So, I mean, if you get it plugged into your network and go through basically the steps Pablo went through, I think you've got less than a 5-minute setup to actually start seeing data from the sensors.
Very cool. Is it possible to perform self-provisioning of devices? If so, how? I think we touched a little bit on that, Pablo, so maybe recap.
Yeah, so it is possible. Right now, there are certain limitations of Node-RED that it kind of doesn't work with the lookup tables. However, we are looking at this, and we are looking for the solution for that. So in order, instead of manually putting the tokens into every single node flow, we are working on a way, or thinking about how it can be automated, so that the tokens will kind of automatically populate. You would still need to pre-create the devices, However, in the enterprise version of Blynk, there is an API to create the devices programmatically. So it's also can be done programmatically. So there's depending on what kind of level you use, you can do this. You can do the self-provisioning. Yeah.
Great. Another one, I'm not sure we have the right expert here for this one. Could it be possible to get the data from OPC Unified Architecture to Blynk? Looks like something we might need to follow up on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so OPC UA is a industrial protocol, kind of like BACnet. But it is possible to do a little data transformation and protocol transformation to convert OPC UA into JSON to MQTT. So yeah, that should be viable, but you are going to need to have some kind of local processing, something like the enterprise gateway running Node-RED. There is an OPC UA library for Node-RED. And then of course there's MQTT to get the data to Blynk. So you're going to bring it in OPC UA, do a little transformation, and then send it up to Blynk. So yeah, absolutely possible. Just a little bit of work to do it.
That's
Awesome.
exactly basically why we are so excited to work with NCDIO, because every setup is so different, but when you have so much flexibility with Node-RED and the gateway, you can pretty much connect anything and then transform it to pretty much anything you want and then send it to anywhere you want, including Blynk. So this is where like every single project is unique, and even though there are like a lot of similarities, but I think we're super excited about having this highly configurable gateway which supports like ton of connectivity options, whether it's Ethernet or cellular or Wi-Fi, I believe as well, right? I think so.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Yep.
then no matter what you connect to it, it will pretty much be able to handle anything that's flowing in. That's the beauty of this solution, and together with the software, it's just a no-brainer basically for us and for our clients. We're starting to offer it more and more often.
Awesome. So at this, we will have to wrap up our Q&A session. We actually do have some more questions, some about pricing, how to get started, etc. So we will make sure to follow up with more information, guides, etc. But we do want to make sure you guys get the promo codes we mentioned, and kind of we wrap it up today. If you guys could go to the closing slide. Okay, so here's the big reveal. So NCD has kindly agreed to offer a promotion for the users that have want to try their hardware kind of after this webinar. So you get the promo code right on the screen. It will also be copied in a follow-up email. So don't worry if you don't capture it today, that will give you 10% off of the hardware. And you are able to get a $99 off Blynk, any subscription you choose. There are different plans, there are different ways to get started. Hopefully, both promo codes, again, will be shared with you if you don't capture it now in an email. The resources will be sent afterwards. Again, if we didn't touch on the questions you've had, if we didn't cover some aspects that you wanted to hear about, please let us know. We'll be doing more of these, assuming you like what you've heard. So make sure to also go through with the exit poll. If you'd like more focus on something else, do let us know. Otherwise, we will be just wrapping up for today, and we really look forward to kind of the next conversation with you, and any feedback you guys hear. You guys gave us on this new integration. It's now available in our public platform. So blueprints are available, that everything that Pablo has demonstrated today is there for you to try. So please go ahead, play with it, give us questions. Thank you, Caesar. Glad you liked it. And we look forward to more webinars from you, with you guys, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you,
Yeah,
Travis.
thanks
And thank you,
everyone for
Pablo, for
coming.
presenting.
Excited to see what you build on that.
Yeah, make sure to post on social if you do take use of both solutions together. We'd love to promote this. We think this is really unique and really will solve a lot of problems and a lot of headache for many businesses out there. So we look forward to hearing more feedback. Awesome. Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
all for coming.
Thanks, guys. Bye.